Hey there. This video is intended for Jeff Adler. He requested a video that he would have me do that would go over the pros and cons of what his website does for him right now. So hopefully I'm reaching out to you right now, Jeff. So hey there. So we're going to go over and look at what your website does well and what it doesn't do well. And I've been doing this throughout the day, so I've been keeping your site and other examples in my mind, and it's kind of fresh right now. So let me just get started here. This is your site. This is how your site appears after I searched for it in Google. You guys are on the 6th page of Google. I don't know if you ever go through that deep when searching for something, but it was deep. It was like rank number 60 or 70. That's not something that I would, be patient enough to find if I was looking for a lawn service. I'd stop on the first page. This is your website, and it's how people see it on mobile. You guys are in need of just this bit of advice. This is something that lets Google know. Right, I'll also be peppering this with free advice non-stop. So this image is how people will see your site, but Google does not see a house. It sees the name of the file, which was uploaded, which is right here. Does this tell Google what exactly the image is about? I don't see the name or the name of your company or the word that you want to be known as, but putting down Green Yard House for the name of the file and then giving it an alternate text, which right now, I don't know who put down your website, but putting down the name of the image, that lets me know of the caliber of the person who developed the site. When I first started developing websites after I graduated at the U, that was one of the first things I did. I didn't know what I was doing, so I copy and pasted the name of the image everywhere, and I thought I was doing well. My sites didn't do well because I was still a student. I wasn't learning. I didn't go through a year of freelancing and agency work to understand what was going on. So going through this site and having your developer or secretary go through, if you're using WordPress, which I'm pretty sure you guys might be using, that's something that can be changed right away. I love the layout of the site. The layout of the site is comfortable to use. Other sites, they have this gaudy little, like, everything has to be green, or like a crazy looking button for everything, which I appreciate that you guys are not doing that. I can see what kind of services you guys have, which is excellent. Google loves that because it's categorized under this. Some other companies I've talked to, they do not have that. They do not have multiple pages here. However, if this is all you have, based that you don't have a sitemap that tells me how many other pages that you have, it tells me and Google that this site is limited to everything here, that you have 10 pages. That's standard. I see 10 pages here, which means a company probably came out to you and offered you a 10-page plan. They probably billed you $3,000 or $4,000 for it, but let's see what you got out of it. That could have been a while ago, but here's that traffic report. This is the traffic report that's an aggregate of all the information that's been going out in traffic for your site. It doesn't count direct type-ins for the address. This is only if people are actively trying to find you on Google and then they click through and they want to find you. Like if they type in, there's no data here. There's no data here. Here's a site that has a little bit of something. These guys, this is a guy that's spaced out within the suburbs, and I'm trying to reach out to him because he has 22 people. However, he does have data that I can work with. He has extra articles on his page, but like he and all these other business owners, they think that keywords are the most important bit of getting people to go to a website. No, that's something that was important, maybe 5 years ago, but that's 5% of what SEO is. However, he is doing well on landscape maintenance services, which brings in 9 people a month, and he has the same kind of website you do, like a 10-page website. So I'm kind of concerned as to why this website, right? It's not even mobile oriented. It's not, his website needs a little bit of improvement, but your website has nearly none. It had one. Maybe it's bringing in maybe 2 or 3 clicks that's not registering because it cares for high trafficked keywords. But let me offer you some free advice to help you at least get to 50 or even 100 by the end of the day. right? This is something that you can delegate to your secretary or to your internal developer if you have one. Having SEO done at a local level, if the easiest way to do it, there's two ways that even a high schooler could do. If you want to have, if you have a motivated person on your team that might be a bit on the tech side, doesn't really require that. Just someone that can write a good English, good article in English. Let me take a look at this page. Maybe this might. Oh, that's why. That tells me what the primary reason is. I thought there was like 500 pages or 500 words here, because I saw that there was a lot of stuff I can scroll down on. The reason why you're not getting traffic is because there's not that much value here. If I saw our services, Google doesn't care that you have 100 words here. At a minimum, you should have 1,000 words per page to get the most juice, the most squeeze out of each effective web page that you have. This tells a customer, if they're on your site, exactly what they need to do or what they will get throughout each season, which to me makes sense, but to Google, it doesn't give it enough information. Whoever who built the site did not take SEO into account. They just designed the site, which I still think was done pretty well, but they didn't lay out a title here. If I look into this code, I hope to God that's not, yeah. Okay, so in web development, there's different categories and different bits of code that you can kind of see what's important. This bit here is a header 2, which I'm getting into the nitpicky bits, but something like that tells Google, hey, this page is unimportant. In H1, which makes it a big title, that tells Google, hey, this page is about this. There's none of that here. So something like that, plus writing out even 500 words. That's one page. Having someone write out a page about fertilization, about how that can help them out. Even if, when I was in high school, something that brought in 50 people, 50 in traffic for my lawn care business when I ran one in high school, I just wrote up one thing, and I didn't realize it back then, but that's all it took. It brought in 50 people to go to my website every month, based off of just doing this one simple trick, and that's something that I'm sharing with you right now. Again, you have 6 pages here. What you don't realize that Google doesn't know at all where you're servicing. If I wanted to find your business and you're located in Burnsville, yay, Burnsville, hometown. If I wanted to find your business, how would I find it? Google does not like it when there's a website that people want to find and they can't find it particularly. If people try to look up New Frontier Lawn Care and that was the specific way to find your website, that tells Google, hey, they're not looking up Lawn Care Burnsville, which I found you on the 7th and 8th page of. People aren't looking up fertilization services in Burnsville. That could be your H1. The thing that will go right above here, even has a space for it. Right here, lawn services in Burnsville, or do you need lawn services in Burnsville? ? Lawn services in Burnsville, can include fertilization as a key aspect. Something like that. Once I can kind of map that out. This is just off the top of my head. That right there, rinse repeat for every single city within Dakota County. You can even go out to Scott County or even Hennepin County. That's 30, 40 cities there. Right there, you have a quick and easy way to replace that. So a little trick that I've learned over the last few months, and something that times 20, literally times 20 the amount of results that you'll get by having one page. Take something that's geared towards Burnsville, right? Something that doesn't reference the fire muster or Burnsville Center or anything, but have something target something saying, hey, is fertilization services in Burnsville right for you, or looking for fertilization services in Burnsville right for you, or whatever. I'm phrasing that wrong, but replace Burnsville with Bloomington, Eagan, Apple Valley, Savage, whatever. You can rinse repeat that. So now instead of having 6 pages, you have 40 times that, because now you're looking into all the small cities and suburbs in the South Metro. If you service that, you can go east, west, go Maple Grove, whatever. So that right there is something that most agencies don't even want to do, because they're like, I'm not going to write all that out, or I don't have the time to do that because I just want to make the quick money by building a site, because you can't prove that all that will work. Yes, it will. I have proof. That's what people do. They build, like, that's just what happens. Anyway, that's 5% of the work. Building that out is 5% of the reward. 25% of the work is building out links. I'm going a little bit more into depth because you're from Burnsville, and I just have to represent Burnsville right here. So 25% of SEO is lead based, meaning off of links from other websites. That's 25% of the work. Building out articles, that's 5%. That's easily done. But having a vote by having another website that's an authority linked to your site, that does more than do all of this. And that's one of the most difficult things that you can do. Or, I mean, most difficult things anyone can do, really, is to have another website owner validate and vote and tell Google, hey, I'm linking to these guys. Every time you put out a link, you're voting for that website. Because whenever you look up something on Google, the way that Google works is it looks at all the links that's coming into a website and says, hey, this website is being linked by 50 sites. Let's look at those 50 sites. Oh, these sites are huge sites. Maybe it's like a local lawn care servicing website, or maybe it's a small local family community, and they put out a small like shout out to your brand, to your site. That's huge. That vote does more than a 10-page article on your site. Arguably, if it's from a good source, it does way more. That right there is something that's, with the articles, that should propel you to getting at least 500. I wouldn't even sugarcoat it and say, well, you get 1,000. No, but at a very minimum level, you should be getting 100. So let me show you a little example here. I showed you these guys, which have 22. Let me see. These guys literally have a site that it's dire need. They're not mobile oriented, meaning you can't see it on the phone. It's super small. It was made by a company in 1986. It was good back then for those standards. These guys, that's you. Shucks. Oh, this is a site that I did not work on, but I'm trying to improve upon. They do it right. If I look in, it's mobile oriented, so everything kind of groups together perfectly when you're on a phone or on a tablet, which for a local business, whenever I look up something, I'm looking it up on my phone on the go, right? That's everyone. They have a lot of websites, or a lot of web pages here, but it's not targeting any city. So I told them, hey, you do fire features, you do entryways, you do plantings. Make an article and just control and replace every single instance of the word where it says plantings. Replace that with plantings for Burnsville yards or something. Do that maybe 5 times per 1,000 words, right? Maybe 0.5%. That's perfect. Do that for Bloomington, and now we'll see how that goes. If you're still curious, we'll see how that goes a month out. But they're doing 200 off of just 30 of those articles. They're not building any links. They're not doing any of the extra things. They're not focusing on the 3 major variables that every business needs to work on if they want to produce more revenue. They're just focusing on providing good economic value through their word of mouth, and they're ignoring the traffic and conversions. They're doing good value. You guys, for landscaping, you guys get like 5% or 10% conversions, normally, hopefully, off of a 5,000 lifetime customer value, meaning you can have customers that only do one thing, maybe it's a $500 service, or you might have a commercial customer that pays up maybe $50,000 throughout the lifetime of contract work that you have with their company. These guys are doing 200, right? If I use these guys as a basis, they existed back. You can see that they had a little blip up in October, right? I don't want to compare, apples with oranges. They do other things too, but if bringing in 100 people, right, at 10% or even 5% of those people, these people are people that they want your service. They typed in, I want lawn services in Burnsville. They want they want to buy. Targeting keywords that say purchasing lawn care service in Burnsville, that finds people right away that want to buy. 10% of all the traffic, right, the 100 people that are coming in and visiting this website, 10% of them become customers. You can see 100, 10% of 100, you have 10 customers, right, that convert on a $5,000 lifetime value. That's something that you can kind of see the potential return on an investment, and that's only the first month. And I know, because Burnsville business owners got to stick together here. This is something that I want to map out for you. I want to map out the entire strategy and execute it for New Frontier Lawn Care. Right down below this video is something that you can schedule another free meeting. Another free meeting, right? Full of literally every single thing that needs to be done to take you to 500 and 1,000 in traffic per month. So I'm open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but if you want to schedule something this week, that would probably be best. Not because it's convenient, I'm trying to close something. No, it's because this is fresh in my mind. I'm not going to reach back out to you and pitch to you again. I'm just going to flat out say, if you think this was full of value, I'd like to extend that. If you want to sit down and talk to me again, I would welcome it. The link below, you schedule something and I send out an invitation to do a video chat. I use GoToMeeting, which is basically just like Skype, right? You get to see my desktop, but this time you're going to be on the other line. So I welcome you to meet with me, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. So if you want to have a chat or look at the other work that I've done, webdesignviking.com is one site that I'm kind of focusing everything on, but my name is jakegoskeen.com. You can check that out. So I'm looking forward to having that meeting, hopefully. So if not, caught you at a bad time. Thanks.